There's a quite frankly ridiculous amount of raw materials that have to go into an electric car, and particularly the battery, which has led manufacturers like Tesla to build what are called Gigafactories. Giga from the scientific prefix meaning 10 to the power 9 or 1 billion, to convey the scale of the gigawatt hours of battery capacity they can churn out. Far from being simpler than internal combustion engine cars, the manufacturing process for batteries and the vast quantities of elements required have led to the need for these gargantuan assembly plants for EV makers. Tesla already has some of these around the world, and so legacy automakers like Stellantis and Mercedes-Benz had to play catch-up and announce their own plans to build electrification gigafactories themselves, via an organisation called the Automotive Cells Company, ACC. As recently as a year ago, ACC was bragging about its new gigafactory kicking off in France. But the market has shifted so dramatically in just 12 months that construction on the second and third gigafactories in Germany and Italy has been stopped. Must be all that misinformation, right, Quentin? Welcome back to MGUY, British engineer and lawyer, now Sydney-based YouTuber. Be sure to follow me on the usual socials for more content, links in the description, and please make sure you're subscribed and have enabled all notifications so you don't miss out on any future videos. In yet another sign of the global EV slowdown, as if one were needed, the partnership between Stellantis, Total Energies and Mercedes-Benz has slammed the brakes on its plans to build 2 additional ludicrously large battery manufacturing plants in Italy and Germany. Stellantis and Mercedes-Benz pause gigafactory plans as electric car sales slide. Car makers to review battery plants in Europe as Chinese imports screech to a halt. Fiat owner Stellantis and Mercedes-Benz have paused plans to build gigafactories in the EU amid slowing electric vehicle sales and rising costs. Automotive Cells Company, ACC, a joint venture between the European car makers, has stopped construction on battery plants in Germany and Italy. ACC, which is also owned by France's Total Energies, had planned to develop 3 electric car battery gigafactories across Europe, amid pressure from the bloc to end reliance on Asian rivals. It comes as experts warn that Chinese electric car sales in Europe are screeching to a halt amid the growing threat of a trade war between Beijing and Brussels. Asked if the ACC still supports the gigafactory plans, Carlos Tavares, the Stellantis chief executive, said, "We are going to adjust our investment plans on EVs to the pace at which market sales of EVs grow." He added, "We do not control that speed." Indeed you do not, and neither do governments, much to their disappointment, I'm sure. ACC's €7 billion or £6 billion gigafactory plan involved constructing sites in Kaiserslautern, southwest Germany, Termoli on Italy's southern Adriatic coast, and a location in France. It planned to employ 2,000 people at each site, bringing the company's total headcount to 8,000 people. ACC has now reportedly decided to review its strategy for the Kaiserslautern site, which was supposed to become operational in 2025 and reach full capacity in 2030. Jan Vincent, chief executive of ACC, said one of the proposals includes making cheaper lithium iron phosphate battery cells. The Kaiserslautern factory will be ACC's second gigafactory after opening its first in France's so-called Battery Valley in the Billy-Berclau-Douvrin region last year. ACC will revisit plans for its Termoli gigafactory in late 2024 or early 2025, as reported by German newspaper Rheinpfalz. Well, I guess we'll have to wait and see whether this slowdown is just a blip, as certain media outlets are desperately hoping and praying, or whether it's a more systemic problem with the ongoing market for EVs. Personally, I'd be very surprised if this were just a blip. The sentiment is so overwhelmingly negative, now that the fanboys, fleets and freebies are all ineffective, that I'd be amazed if it picked up rapidly. But one thing's for sure, the market is very volatile, and I'm not going to predict the future.